What's going on, everyone? Johnny Kevin Bright here, founder of Decideretide.com, and today I want to share this idea with you that's absolutely crucial if you want to keep growing as an individual. It's critical to everything that you do actually in life. If you want to continue to improve your income, if you want to continue to improve your relationships that you're in, if you want to continue to improve the environment that you absolutely that you live in, absolutely critical, and that is study. Now, you're probably going to laugh at me and say, wait a minute, like, what you talking about? Like, study? Like, what do you mean study? Like, how is that going to improve my income, my life, my environment, and all these other things in my life? And I'm going to share that with you right now. But before I do, I just want to say that, I think it was back, like, maybe 2009, maybe. I picked up a book for the first time, and I read it from start to end. All right? And I read that book. It was actually handed down to me by a coworker, and he gave me this book. It was actually a book by Laura Langmuir, and the book was called The Millionaire Maker. And I have it right here in front of me. It says, "Act, think, and make money the way the wealthy do." And I picked this book up, and I was kind of interested in it. I was like, okay, like, I like the title, The Millionaire Maker. I like the subtitle, and I was like, okay, let me see what this is about. Long story short, I read the book, and from beginning to end, and I absolutely fell in love with the idea or just the thought process of what it really takes to build a wealthy life. Not just a wealthy bank account, but a wealthy life. And since then, I've got to say that, I've read dozens of books since then. It's been like this journey, like this intellectual journey that I've been on for like the last 3-4 years, right? And so after starting this adventure, I began to just study. I began to just study more and more and more and understand. However, one of the things that I was doing was that I was just kind of like flying through these books. I was flying through them, and, I wasn't really absorbing as much as I should have been absorbing, right? Because I was just going from book to book to book to book. So let me ask you this. Have you ever read a book, and then after reading the book, you were only able to recite maybe 3 or 4 things out of the, hundreds of pages that was probably in that book? Like, have you ever done that? Because pretty much what that means is that you read the book, but you did not study the book. There's a big difference there. When you read a book, you're just going to read the book, right? You're going to read the book. You're going to be like, oh, that was cool. You're going to put the book down. You're going to come back another day, and you're going to pick it up. You're going to keep reading it. But when you study something, it's like you're going to read one chapter for like 2 weeks straight, and you're just going to highlight what stands out to you. You're going to think about it. You're going to talk about it, have conversations about it. You're going to test things out, see if they work for you. That's the difference between reading a book and studying a book, right? So it all goes back to this thing, study, that I'm really trying to bring across here. So Dan Look actually is somebody who I follow on YouTube, and somebody who I just, I was listening to his podcast, Dan Look, and his podcast is called Boss in a Bentley, right? Dan Look, Boss in a Bentley. Check it out. Look him up. But I remember he had this conversation in the backseat of his Bentley. How he was talking about like how he doesn't really read books, that he actually uses them. And what he meant by that was this: like, he'll pick up a book and he'll start to read it, and the moment he gets 3 things that kind of like, intrigues his mind, he puts the books down, he writes down those 3 things, and he starts to implement them right away. Now that's what true studying is. That's what true, like, that's the essence of, I'm going to study something. And it's not all about studying the book. It's more about studying yourself and seeing actually what really aligns with me. Because there's plenty of information out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of information out there, and it's like, well, what really works for you? Like, that's what you really have to find. That's what you have to figure out. Because at the end of the day, there's only one thing that you're actually going to be very, 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 very good at. You know what I'm saying? There's this, it's biblical. There's this scripture in the Bible that says, acquire wisdom, and with all that you acquire understanding. And that's pretty much what we have to do here. Proverbs 4, chapter 4, verse 7. But that's pretty much what we have to do here, okay? We have to know and understand what it is we're actually reading, what it is we're actually doing, who we actually are. We have to understand that, because no one else is going to do that for you, right? So now if you, find yourself like doubting yourself, like, I struggle with this too. Like, let's say like you find yourself doubting yourself, or you find yourself worrying about things. The only reason why you find yourself, with these feelings of doubt and worry is because you lack understanding. And because you lack understanding, that also means that you lack the knowledge. And the only way you're going to get the knowledge is if you study. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only way you're going to get that knowledge, is if you study. Because you got worry, you got doubt, and then that leads to fear, right? And this is all something that I'm actually studying myself, and I'm figuring this out finally, because you go on this journey of like, oh, I read books, bro. Like, yeah, like I read this book, but like, oh my gosh, like there's books right here that I have on my other phone, actually on the phone that I'm recording with. There's books that I've read, and I'll be more than like open to share them with you guys. But when you go through this cycle of thinking that you're learning, you're actually just accumulating information and not doing anything with it. So it's always best to avoid, living in like fear, worry, doubt, and gain some understanding, gain some knowledge, gain some wisdom. All right? Like, study. Make that a conscious habit that you're going to study every single day. I'm going to study. Study. I study like every single day myself now, and it's just something that I do. Like, it's just who I am now. Like, I need it. Like, I crave it. You know what I mean? So study allows you to find who you are. It allows you to dig deep within yourself, in your core, and it allows you to figure out who you actually are and what you're actually passionate about. And it'll give you a compass that's going to drive you to your purpose and your purpose and like what you are meant, like why you're even here on this earth. You know what I'm saying? So study. Think about that word today. Okay? Study. All right? And if you can take anything from this talk here with me today, just know that like the purpose of studying is to gain understanding, wisdom, and more knowledge so that you can figure out your core values and what you can actually bring, how you can use that information and what you can actually bring into this world and help it to change. So that's all I have for today, guys. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to this channel. If you want to see more awesome videos like this, go ahead and hit that bell button. And in addition, if you are interested in watching Bob Proctor, Paradigm Shift, I actually have a link below this video. Just check that out in the description. It's going to take you right over to the website, and there you can actually purchase your Bob Proctor Paradigm Shift event. I think it's about $140, but it's actually a 3-day event. And Bob actually, he's the man. Like, he's going to talk to you about how you can change your paradigm, how you can look into like learning more, gaining more knowledge, getting out of your old habitual habits that's pretty much been engraved inside of your brain since you were a child, like how you can leave that behind so that you can start getting better results and change your paradigm and start moving forward and getting to where you actually want to be in life. All right. So that's all I got for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys.